Kalala Malak Yahweh Wa Yahushai Bahashem Racha Kodash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barakatah. Today's lesson: Ukraine's military losses exceed 1 million. Right, they top 1 million. And here we have an RT.com article that says Ukraine's military losses top 1 million. Lavrov. Kiev's Western backers have nearly depleted their resources for waging the proxy war against Russia, the foreign minister says. Ukrainian military casualties in the conflict with Russia have exceeded 1 million and continue to rise, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said. Lavrov did not specify the types of losses. However, military casualties refers to the total number of soldiers killed, wounded, missing in action, and taken prisoner. Kyiv does not release regular official tallies of its killed and wounded soldiers, and estimates vary widely, so it could be higher. Earlier this year, Ukraine's Vladimir Zelensky told NBC News that since 2022, 43,000 Ukrainian troops have been killed and around 380,000 wounded. In a later interview, he said 100,000 were killed, but his office later denied the figure. Kyiv's backers in the Western media have been skeptical of the numbers, with most analysis suggesting that total Ukrainian casualties are much higher. And there you have it. And since the very beginning, we knew that the military losses upon Ukraine were being falsified in order to mislead. Don't you know that it was said of the wicked that they are estranged from the womb, and that they go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies? Let's begin in that scripture. Psalms 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Right, the wicked are known to go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. The wicked is Edom, according to Malachi 1 and 4. The wicked, along with their Western media, delight in lies. Edom is known as the forgers of lies and as the physicians of no value, according to the scripture of Job 13 and 4. And many do not trust the American media. That's why many people go to outside news sources for the truth. At least the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov, said the truth as to the actual number of the dead in Ukraine. And you think Zelensky was going to admit to those losses? No. Those Ukrainian soldiers were thrown into the cannon fodder. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Perfect example, as in the case of the little girl that was caught eating cakes by her mom, and instead of admitting it, she blamed it on a so-called black man. Another thing, why do you think that the so-called Israeli state is now receiving problems? Because they do not know how to be neighborly to those surrounding countries. The people around the world are now seeing their true horns and wicked actions. That's why they are now receiving problems on a wide scale, because they do not know how to be neighborly unto the other surrounding nations. They are a troublesome state. Those who constantly live by the sword could never be neighborly. That's why Turkey's President Erdogan said a while back that the Israeli state is a terrorist state. They look at everyone else and call them terrorists, and the ones that are the actual terrorists are themselves. That's why the scripture of Malachi 1:4 has said that they shall call them the border of wickedness. Right, Edom. When it comes to the wicked of the earth, they do not like to hear the truth or even to speak the truth due to their pride. That's why no one believes them anymore. When it comes to this Babylonian government, they love to point fingers on the other countries, but they do not hold themselves guilty for the wicked deeds that they commit. Remember that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked according to the scripture of Job 9:24. And that is exactly what they're bringing, wickedness. And that's why all these nations are angry, because they are also being taken out of their comfort zone. We knew that they were manipulating and falsifying the numbers of those dead Ukrainian soldiers. The scriptures also speak about the wars, about these wars. It also speaks about the draft. Second Esdras 16:33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right, because the women shall lose their men to the war. Many Ukrainian women have lost their men to the war. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right. Those so-called American women shall also mourn in the time of war. The mandatory military draft shall also come to America in the time of war. In World War III, millions shall die upon modern-day Babylon the Great within that 1 hour period due to the arrows of mass destruction. Not only America, but destruction shall also come upon the land that the small hats now inhabit in order to cleanse it. Because remember, you have Pink City over there, kosher pork. Etc. And the small hats will be the ones to draw out the Americans to that final destructive war of Armageddon. Hebrew word Armageddon. But when it comes to Babylon the Great, it shall never rebuild, but that land that the small hats now inhabit shall certainly rebuild. To welcome in the true people of the Lord. Second Esdras 16:34. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right now, we are currently witnessing small wars and proxy wars taking place. But make no mistake, as soon as that deceitful CHIP of Revelation 13:16 is fully implemented upon the world, the third world war cometh quickly. And Revelation 16:2 says, the grievous sore upon taking it. Right, those that take it shall come down with a grievous sore of cancer. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, especially in that third world war. But this time it shall be on a massive scale. On the day of that greater destructive war, no soldier will come home. Many women shall mourn in the wars over their deceased husbands. Just like you saw when the women of Ukraine were mourning over their deceased. In the wars shall the bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. The time will come when the Lord of hosts shall muster the host of the battle in that final showdown of World War III. An inevitable third world war shall take place, but before that war to end all wars takes place, that CHIP of Revelation 13:16 must first take place, because the Lord is bound by his word. And he will not break his word even for his great name. But as soon as that CHIP of Revelation 13:16 through 18 is fully implemented upon society, then that inevitable war to end all wars comes quickly. Husbands shall also perish of famine, thus making women widows. And many women right now are without husbands due to them perishing in these small proxy wars. That's why the scripture went on to say, the virgin shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The woman shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughter shall mourn, having no helpers. Right. Because many are dying due to these wars. It took 3 years for that tally of 1 million plus dead in Ukraine to take place. But in that inevitable third world war to come, that million plus will come quicker once those destructive arrows are let loose. Shall be in the millions. All of Babylon the Great shall be destroyed. When it comes to modern day Babylon the Great, it shall be destroyed from coast to coast. But with that being said, Kalalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Brakta. Shalom.